Hello guys, so in this video we're going to learn about disciplines for robotics, okay? So what fields are required for the field of robotics, okay? Now, as we go along, we're going to find out about a couple of the fields and how they are related with the, sector. So let's go through the names first. So as you can see here, the first one is mechanical engineering. Then you have electrical electronics, number 2. Then number 3 is computer science. Number 4 is nanotechnology. Number 5 is biotechnology, okay? So there are a couple of other fields which we will learn about in future, okay? For now, let's learn about how they are related with the fields. Okay, so now first one, mechanical. So mechanical engineering is related with the robot kinematics, okay? So anything to do with robot movement, anything to do with the motion, so planning the motions or the freedom of degrees, okay, like how many ways the robots can move, in what positions can it go, in how, if you know the values of the joints and axes, all these things. Then number 2 we got electrical and electronics. So it's basically the nervous system of the robots, okay? So it deals with the power systems, signaling, sensor systems, computation control. So let's learn a little bit more about these systems, so how they're related. So as you know, your machine has to power itself, right? So for these power systems, so that's the work of the electrical and electronics engineers, okay? So you have these like battery packs here. So as you can see, here's a picture of Asimov robot by Honda. So here is a lithium-ion battery pack at the back, so as you can see that. And then you have to control your robots, right? So you need to send signals from the microcontrollers to the, or the microprocessors to the like your joints and hands or arms or motors, whatever you're using, okay? Or different kinds of sensors sending signals back from the environment to your brain of the robot, that's the processor, okay? And computation control, here it talks about that basic thing that is, robot has to process this information, compute everything, and then give some kind of output again back, okay? So that's how it controls itself, okay? Now here's a picture of sensor system. As you can see here, there's a range given, near and then far, and that's how they usually work. And here's another picture given. Basically it's a Baxter robot by Rethink Robotics, and this is a research going on in MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where they figured out a way using these EEG sensors from their to control the robot's movement, okay? So it's basically, it corrects the movement of the robot. So you can learn more in depth by clicking on these links. I'll provide the links below with the videos, okay? Now let's learn about the field, computer science, okay? So computer science is basically it's about the instructions of the robot. So how are the robots controlled, okay? Like how do they get the instructions for the controlling, like where does the robot need to move? So they need to get the instructions, right? Since robots are not intelligent by themselves, so someone has to give them the instructions, okay? So these are basically the work of computer science people. They write programs, they write all these information, and they transfer it to the robots, and then the robots does the work, okay? Robot computes, robot processes the information, and then we get meaningful data out of it, okay? And here I've given you 2 pictures here. As you can see, there's a block programming language over here to control this arm robot, and this is the drag and drop systems that's going on these days, and it makes the programming really easy, okay? I would give some of them in the links below, the suggestion, so that you can learn. So it's one of the suggestions could be scratch programming, if you go and you learn. So that's the easiest way to get started with programming, with scratch drag and drop, okay? And on the right there is another API, like you can see another software application. It's probably from the Edison robotics kits, okay? So you just put these blocks, and they're gonna work accordingly. Now here's a picture of Pepper robot by Aldebaran Robotics, like it's from the SoftBank group. As you can see here, you can control the robot. It's got cameras, it's got different movements, it's got motors. So if you put in these blocks and sections here, that you can control the robots by just defining the values and stuff like that, okay? It's actually a very advanced robot, so if you have the capability, you can just work with one of these, okay? Currently it's held by in universities, and it's probably implemented in some of the offices in London as well. I've seen one of the newses recently. Then we have nanotechnology. As you know, the technology age is coming, and everything is getting smaller and smaller every day, right? So what's happening is the size of the components is getting really small, and for that reason our robot systems are getting smaller day by day. So you don't have to have like massive motherboards. You can have the smaller ones, smaller signal systems, and due to the more efficiency and power due to this nanotech innovation, you could see everything compact and really sleek. Okay, so which is good thing for us, because we could design the systems in a very compact and small way, and it doesn't have to be like carrying a big backpack, or it doesn't have to be a massive robot because of the inner systems. Okay, so with the advancement in the science and technology, we can have even smaller robots, okay, which will come in a bit. Now let's look at these examples here. As you can see, this is a fly robot, this is a mosquito robot, so they're probably going to be used for military purposes, or surveillance, or it could be for other purposes. You could look on the researches below by just googling them, and here you can see like some spider robots which can go into your bloodstream. Like it could be used for medical purposes, so without even knowing, you could cure cancer. So this could be a really big breakthrough for the field of robotics. And here is another drone system. As you can see, it's a mini drone, which is even smaller than your hands, right? So you can understand the magnitude, right? And the other one is biotechnology. So biotechnology is basically where we get the design inspiration from nature for our robots. Okay, so the mosquito robot that you've seen in the previous one. So here is the design breakdown of that. So it's got wings, it's got very tiny motors, it's got like a little bit of antenna to get the what is it called, like the signals from the microcontrollers from a computer nearby or something, and then it's got a little bit of microprocessor to process the information. Then it's got actuators, it's got sensors, and it's also got a little bit of probably a power source like a battery pack, otherwise it can't get the power, right? That's the thing. So that's how these fields are required for the sector of robotics. So if you're interested, you can learn and contribute through one of these fields. Okay, so thank you for watching, guys. Thank you very much.